So I'm here now. All right, let's call this meeting to order. It is Monday, June 8th, 2026, the Bristol Selectboard meeting. Item 2, approval of agenda. Any changes to the agenda? Move on. Item 3, public forum. 5 minutes per person for non-agenda related items. Anybody out there? Okay, moving along.
It's scary if Christine's on the agenda.
I'm here for
scared.
Item 4, consent agenda. Got a few things here. Got the approval of past meeting minutes for 5/11/2026 and 6/1/2026. Approval of the check warrant. If someone could read out the amount, I would appreciate it.
Joe's got it.
Sorry, I was signing things.
Okay.
$166,810.64.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Any liquor or tobacco?
Yes, manufacturing. Their third one and outside consumption. And they do have conditions on the outside consumption one, so I would suggest that we keep them.
For the related, for Pocock Rocks or other vendors that are doing special event permits for alcohol, that's changed, right? They used to come to us and we would know about them, but I think they go directly through you or the state.
Well, they've always come to me, and unless there's an issue with a special event one, I usually just approve it.
Right, because you have the power to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I remember in the past, we would always see them come in or they'd be late, we'd be chasing down people. But
Yeah,
it
and
seems that.
unfortunately with a special event, sometimes you get them just a few days before the event is.
Okay. Okay, I just wanted to confirm. 4C, special event and street use closure permit for the 4th of July celebration, including the Stampede 5K run and walk. And we also have 4D, a special event and street closure permit for Pocock Rocks. Only change with this one is slightly earlier closing time for the street at 11 a.m. instead of noon, but it opens up at 8 p.m. So same amount of time. And then 4E, authorized signing of Vermont Bond Bank financing documents for the Bristol West water line replacement project. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, we have a motion. Second.
Second.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion. Second. Any questions on those 4 consent agenda items?
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about the minutes. I mean, I told you my concerns about the executive session after we
Correct.
came out. My feeling was we approved to do that, but we didn't approve the letter.
Okay.
And I think that was unclear when I don't know about Peter Fields, but I thought that was unclear. I mean,
Okay.
we approved it.
I
But
thought we were
I
going
were gonna see the
to see
letter
it.
before.
Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't that. Yeah, the approval letter wasn't in our discussion, and it's not in our conflict of interest, but we can address that with updating the conflict of interest, which we'll be talking about tonight, to make it clear. I think that was the one thing that's missing from that part. Okay.
With that said, I'll approve them, but I just want to make that clear.
Okay, sure. Any other questions, concerns about the consent agenda?
Assuming the bond bank stuff is all good.
Yep.
I'm not reading through it. I'm trusting you guys. You guys.
It has our forgiveness of $1 million and $75,000 in the first year. It's all written into the.
Well, that's better than zero.
Mary?
Hey, just going along with the 4th of July, 2 questions, just kind of from what we remember from last year. Banners can be put up 2 weeks before 4th of July, and then can stay a week after 4th of July, was that, I think, right? And then, when can we put out the big signs that say road closure for the 4th of July? The reason why I ask is where it's stored is where this gentleman keeps a classic car. The weather has to be good in order for him to pull that car out, to pull all the closure.
I would think we'd want it up a week ahead of time.
That's generally how it
So
happens
June
for
27th.
Pocock too. It's usually a week. Just hopefully that's enough for people to be driving through, see it, remember. Would that work? Are you worried that it would be a shorter amount of time?
No, I think that's fine.
Okay.
We just wanted to make sure, so we'll just get our committee together and make sure we put them out on this Saturday.
Is Vermont Construction still sponsoring?
They are one of them.
Yeah. Have they switched their sign around? Because remember we had a discussion about the
I
size.
think we're still using the sign, the banner, right, because we pulled them all out. Yes.
It was switched last year.
I could remember. I just remember we had a discussion about the size.
2 years
like
ago.
the big Vermont Construction and then the little bitty Bristol 4th of July.
So it's, the banner is the same one, but was there discussion that it had to have a certain ratio?
Our discussion was, we thought the Bristol 4th of July should be a whole lot bigger than the.
If we have money, then we might consider it, but right now, as you know, the fireworks really put us in a bind by 55% increase. So,
Part of it too is that we don't have a policy dictating
Any of
that
that,
discussion, so it was just sort of, you know.
so it's on your table to figure that out.
Well, no, it's not really. That's the thing. It's because we don't have any guiding policy for that. It's hard for us to make decisions on that, and we shouldn't because it then would apply to other groups. And
I guess what we can do is we'll take pictures
Yeah.
and just kind of like file it, and
I
get an
thought it
idea
was
of which
true.
one's best.
Sorry, go ahead, finish.
I was just trying to be proactive for figuring out
Yeah.
the banner situation for the future.
I mean,
Because I would assume it might come through the rec department.
I thought it was, they moved it last year.
Yeah, I thought
I
they
don't
fixed it.
They fixed it, because they were matched, about the same size lettering. Because you were right, 2 years ago, it did say,
Maybe there wasn't. Yeah.
and for staying up, I think usually it's a week after. I think last year, maybe the year before, it was 2 weeks, but I think that's because the banners there was heavy wind, and they got wrapped up, and so it was just a little bit more time. So, but generally, I think it's a week, 2 weeks up before, and then a week after it's down. And also, I know coordinating to be able to remove them, it can be tough in terms of getting a piece of machinery there to take them down.
We are gonna replace the cable systems everywhere, so that what happened last year should not happen again, hopefully, for the
Oh, good.
ones.
Are you going to do a double cable, or?
Yeah.
Okay, that'll be nice. On Main Street too?
Everywhere.
Oh, wow. Okay, that'll be great.
That's the hope.
Yeah.
So that.
So there's two places, Main Street and then down here by the bank, right?
Yes, in front of the post office, we ended up having to use that pole because we got an extra banner, and then the covers will still stay on covers, as long as that's still okay with them, and then the others will be on Main Street.
You may want to check with them just because they have the cow artwork there.
Yeah,
I know you can go above that, but they put their sign
I
there.
did see that.
Yeah.
Christine, you said the other one on Main Street, so is there three?
There's three. We approved three.
That's right.
Yeah, there's
It's
two
further down by.
Yeah, there's two on Main Street.
So it'll be Jackman's of Bristol, New Roots Construction, Vermont Construction Company Roofing Division, and then covers.
Sounds good. Any further questions on the consent agenda? Hearing none, all those in favor to approve, say aye. All those against, nay. Motion carries. Thank you.
thank you.
Jessica is on.
She is on, yeah. Thanks, Meredith.
Good morning, Jessica.
Have a good night.
She's there. She should be a co-host.
I'm having a little trouble hearing everything, but I'll try to participate as much as I can.
Is that us? Are we low, or is it something else?
Well, now it's sounding a little better. I'm not sure if it's a technical problem. I just logged out and logged back in, so hopefully that'll fix the problem. That's the extent of my technical skills, like how I fix everything. Log out, log back in.
Could be us, because I know at some points when we start, if we talk before someone else on Zoom speaks, our audio is low for some reason. And I thought I'd fix that.
Okay.
It kind of gets very garbled, and then if you spoke, it then improves. I think something about the compression.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Okay, well, I'll just stick with it then.
No, it should be fine now. I'll keep troubleshooting that again and again and again.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Let's see here. So we are on to our regular business. 5A, interview consideration of Conservation Commission candidate John Cummings.
He stood us up once before. I don't think we should interview.
Well, he's here now. Join us at the table, please. Sure.
We could have just appointed him to any committee if when he
That's
didn't
true.
show up, you know?
That would have been real, would have been the lesson real quick that way.
Surprise! I thought we did.
No.
Good effort.
We missed
We'll let you know what we put you on.
So it's a very informal,
Sure.
obviously you've attended meetings, multiple meetings now, and are very interested, but tell us a little bit about yourself and your interest in the commission.
Sure, Jonathan Cummings. I'm new to Bristol, but not so new to the area. I grew up in western Vermont. I work for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service in conservation. So, just being part of a community and making it, keeping it as good as it is or making it better is kind of an important thing to me. So this is a way I think I can use my skills to help do that.
You ever get yourself on TV then?
Have been on very briefly, a few times, but not really a major interest of
Are you
mine.
still with the U.S. Forest?
U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service,
Fish and
yes.
Wildlife?
So you do it all day long, you wanna do it after hours?
Kinda, I mean, different things a little bit, yeah.
Let's try not to discourage you.
I'm just making sure.
So the vacant position that's open is a 4-year position that expires in March 2030.
Really? 4 years?
Well, we keep extending these,
Boy.
yeah.
No,
Wow.
the conservation has always been 4 years. Different than most of our other, I don't know if it's a statute thing or something to do with conservation at the state level, but they've always been 4. So hopefully that doesn't scare you away either, but I don't think it will.
He can always resign.
You can always find
Yeah,
one
that
piece of
happened.
paper to paint. I resign as effective.
All right. Any other questions from the board here?
After all that, you still wanna come on?
Sure, yes.
Well, fantastic. We appreciate that very much. I'd entertain a motion for that.
I'll make a motion to appoint John Cummings to the Conservation Commission for a 4-year term.
Second.
Great. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor vote aye.
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 Against? Nay? Motion carries.
Congratulations.
Easy peasy. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, welcome aboard.
We
Nice to meet you.
appreciate it.
Thanks, John.
And you already have the schedule and you know what you're doing, so you're all set. Great. Thank you for coming tonight. All right. Moving on. Okay. 5B. You okay over there? Okay. 5B. We're working, this is the beginning of our updating our numerous policies and ordinances. Greg and I have been working together to formulate a list of what to work on first. The most pertinent ones are coming up now. We have 2 this evening. This is a meeting 1 of 3 meetings where we'll be discussing these. We'll be working on first the conflict of interest policy. So I sent you previously the draft of the policy that we're going to be working on. I'll put it on the screen. And we've also got a memo about the changes that were made. The previous, let's see if I can get those up here. The previous document I think was updated in 2012 or 2017. Let me skip that up here.
2017, I think.
2017. Obviously, a lot has changed since then, and a lot of the updates are bringing it into either
2012, sorry.
2012 Vermont statute to be able to make sure that we're all above board and doing everything correctly as we should be. So let's see if I can get this up and join the meeting.
We hadn't voted on it yet, that's why you didn't see it.
Okay. Let me just undo Zoom.
Shut that thing off.
Okay.
there's only 4 of us gonna sign it. That's why I counted down 4.
Yeah, well,
Do people have printouts of the
I don't.
particular thing? Are you able to
I have
print
a
out a
hard
copy
copy.
for us? I can get up here, I just need a couple seconds here.
that's it. There's 2 sections.
Sign where you guys signed out.
Next.
Isn't it a conflict of interest, us making our conflict of interest policy?
I would think so.
Follow the state statute.
Yeah. Hold on a sec, sorry.
Oh, you might forget.
You should have just started at the top. Yeah, are you having trouble finding it?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I'm on a new computer and it's,
I'm on track of it.
doesn't let you share stuff
Oh.
without
I was supposed
approving
to
it first, and I had
Send
to
out Prospero.
try and submit.
It's on my.
I just noticed when I drove by that it hadn't been done. Rather than bring it up.
I'm on this. Thank you, sir. No, I freaked. I was like, oh.
Alright, let me try again.
I thought about a month ago,
That's
and then I
better.
saw it again last week.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask. Cause if nobody says anything, it'll just,
I know. No, it's been on my.
Okay. Everyone see that?
I'd say.
This is just, remember, you're gonna bring up the policy too?
Yes.
When you're done, okay.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think it's an issue. I think they probably just figured we forgot.
They, yeah.
Just,
Why?
So this is just the details on it. So April 2020, April 23rd, 2012 was the last time we updated it, so 14 years ago. Various things have changed in terms of the Vermont Municipal Code of Ethics. And so these are the different things that are required in this update. So quite a few. We have a couple questions as Greg and I sort of worked on this in terms of how admonishment should be in terms of the members of the board, independent reviewer selection for issues that pertain to issues that come up, and then how to do the different complaint procedures or the whistleblower coverage.
They created a whole department at the state for it.
Yes.
And then we're like, just kidding, we don't have funding for it. But that doesn't exempt you from following it and doing it. You just don't have the support, so.
Yeah.
go figure.
Yeah.
Yes. So here we are with the draft. Alright, so this is where we're at now. So essentially, it looks different than our original one because the original one was obviously 14 years old. So we've got part of the whole redesign of this is just standardizing the formatting, creating a policy numbering system so we can track them a little bit better. This is obviously version 2.2 draft. Version 1 is the original one that we've adopted. That's what we're working on. We got a little bit of the amendment history in terms of where these were. These are the changes that I've been making as we get through to work on this version. Table of contents, but that'll update and we'll generate that at the end when we've done everything. But this is pretty much what was in the previous document, just reformatted in different ways. We've expanded the definitions.
So you've sent that to us through,
Yeah, I sent it on Friday.
I saw something.
Send it to your regular email too.
But hopefully everyone's had a chance to take a look, and if anyone has questions or comments. This is just a first review. Is anything you catch, anything that you're concerned about, please raise questions now.
Okay.
And we will do, sure. and we will go through it. We got 20 minutes to talk about this. Once we get a first round,
He's limiting us.
Yeah.
correct. Greg and I will update it, and the next version will be sent to the attorney for review to see what happens there, and then it will come back. We'll do another round looking at that version. Any questions that come up then, we then move to a final pass and a vote for approval at the third meeting.
Okay, can I ask my questions?
Of course.
My first question was, we're gonna have somebody look at this to make sure all our statutes and references,
Correct.
interpretations.
Yes,
are
that's,
right. Okay.
that's that second round.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
We're trying to schedule it where, because we have a lot to get through.
Right.
And it's just like, we can't like sit in the meeting
No, I
and
get
go
it.
through it. So we have to sort of form this framework we can apply to every single one of these, both ordinance and policy, so.
Okay, so on 6.10, no, you're in 5, go down.
Huh?
6.1, 601, 6.1.
Oh, 6.1, sorry.
Now you went by it.
I'm getting there. Got it.
So in this one, it says the municipal shall not benefit from any contracts entered into, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just gonna use Peaker as the example. So would this statement exclude HBA from entering any bidding process?
Not if you read the next line.
Yeah, the benefit
Well-
is no greater than any other individuals generally affected by the contract. B,
Right.
the contract is an employment contract with the town, and the contract was awarded through an open and public competitive bidding process. Or D, the total value of the contract is less than.
Yeah, but what happens if it's more than 2,000?
That's just-
But it's the recusal part next. They just need to recuse themselves from the decision-making process so that they're not steering the decision.
Okay, so then that last paragraph, it says a municipal officer whose official duties include executing a contract. So I just want clarification. So they can't participate in being part of the bidding process or just reviewing the proposals?
Yes,
Like they can't review whatever, if they're bidding, they can't review the proposals?
exactly.
Okay.
So that's where the recusal comes in. Obviously distancing themselves from anything that is related to them or family related.
Okay, but when I first read it, I was like, okay,
Yeah,
Does
it's a
that mean
multi-part
anybody on the
thing.
board
It's-
can't bid?
Yeah, it's trying to get as much protection as possible, both for the select board member or
Mm-hmm.
immediate family, or associated.
And we do business with all my immediate family.
I know, but that's why, because it's, you do that in a small town because
Yeah.
you don't have that many people to pull from or businesses to pull from.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, that clarifies that. Then I'm
Okay.
on the fire department. Now, I think it's under, I've got notes in here and I think it's number 5 where it says triggering matters.
Up again?
No, I think it's
Go
down farther.
You were already at it, right there.
Triggering matters.
Matters, there you go.
Based on the document that you sent me a few weeks ago, which was the original one that had been worked on many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
This is where that has come from. It's sort of folded into this.
Okay, so I have a couple questions. The first one, the salary stipend one, setting or adjusting the salaries, they can't, has a conflict of interest for any of its action, the select board, setting or adjusting salaries. Well, aren't we gonna need to reword this? Because even though the fire department is separate, it becomes part of the general budget, and we all vote on the general budget. If these two are on the fire department, then they technically can't vote on that?
I think
I mean, and if that's the case, then we don't have a quorum. Well, we would have a quorum if it's the other 3 of us vote. That was my first intake. And then if that is the case, then you may need to adjust who's allowed to run for the board. I mean, if we had three fire department members on the board, then you don't have a quorum.
Well, that's why we have it's setting or adjusting the salary, stipend, or compensation. And so within the fire department budget, when that is being looked at, a member of the fire department who's also a select board member wouldn't be able to make changes there. But I think voting as a whole on the entire general budget, we as, or non-fire department select board members could make changes or say, we think it should be this, or we'd like it to be this. But in the general funded or approving everything, I think you could have all members vote. Because you're not specifically targeting one particular department and making changes yourself as that member.
Well, I was just thinking that if they were an officer, like if, say, Peter or Joe, chief of the fire department as well, so then I would understand that.
Yes.
But if they're just the members, I guess I was a little bit more lenient about them being able to.
And you're gonna call out families, like, mentioning about, it's not just the fire, but also immediate family as well. So like, I mean, 3 years ago, we all wouldn't have been able to have a quorum if the three of you couldn't vote on something, fire related.
Oh, and Pete Coffey was there too.
Yeah, I mean, so it's just.
I just want to point it out, and
That's one thing I noticed too.
if that's unclear, we need to make sure it's clear that either they can or they can't, and make sure we do have a quorum to be able to do that.
Let's flag that, and we'll have the attorney look at that and just maybe make a suggestion, given, again, small town and cross-pollination of boards and serving areas.
Right. So that was my same question number 4, where it said approval of the BFD annual budget. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
But the way that I read this is that what it's trying to avoid is, Peaker is in the fire department, and he's like, you know what, I think fire department should get 10% budget increases and everybody else should get 0. So what it's that when we have that discussion, that self from playing an active role in everything else. So I think it's just that you don't want somebody who has a conflict of interest to be driving a budget process. You want them to just be in a voting role and not actually driving it. That's the way that I read it, at least, that it would be maybe unfair advocacy.
Okay.
I mean,
So it wouldn't be allowed in the discussion either?
No, I think you would be allowed in the discussion. It would just be that you couldn't be the one to say, hey, we're going over the fire department budget, and I think they should all get, X amount of increase. So as long as Greg is the one who's leading that, that discussion, that you would be able to discuss it, but you should then recuse yourself from the vote.
Okay.
And then when it comes time, when it's all in the big budget, of course you vote on the whole budget as a whole. I think what it's trying to avoid is that if you're wearing 2 hats, that you're not advocating for your other self, your fire department self, as you're a member of the select board. But once we get past the advocacy and it's just simply voting, I don't think then there's a conflict of interest.
I mean, Peaker dealt with this the years he was chief. He was on the board. He didn't make up the budget. He had input with the assistant chief. But I believe, am I correct if I'm wrong? Peaker, please correct.
I just think we need to make it clear, because I don't want.
make it very clear.
Yeah, I just don't.
It sounds like you guys were following it, it was just, you were following it informally, so.
Because all we set the salary is or the stipend for all the chief officers, or all the officers.
It's all on recommendation of the chief, though. It's not.
Right.
It's not.
And
so
him and I get paid is our hourly, that's set by minimum wage,
Right.
by the policy.
Yeah, so much of it anyway is driven by the chief and his officers coming to us, and well, actually before that, discussion with the town administrator, and then coming to us.
But I mean, there's more than just the budget. It talks about approval of the equipment purchases, capital expenditures,
Right.
blah, 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 blah. So,
And again, that's, I think it would be a bigger conflict of interest if Brett, say,
Right.
was on the
right,
board,
it was on the
right?
board, right.
But because he's
someday
not,
that might be. So.
that's true, yes.
I did it for 6 years.
My next question is
Yes.
7.03, the non-recusal.
7.03, here we go.
Yeah, it says, one of the sentences says, an officer who disturbs good conduct or pursuit shall submit a written non-recusal statement to the select board, and then it goes on. Why does that have to be written? I mean, usually the recusals, I find we're usually doing them in person in the meeting, which is, recorded and minutes taken. I mean.
Well, I think part of that is
There was language from the state around that,
Yes.
and I think that's why.
I
And
don't think we've ever done it with
No,
recusal,
no.
so that's why
I
I'm
know, and that's, I think we were just concerned about that.
Yeah.
And so it does seem like a much bigger ask than we've normally had, but I think it protects each of the serving members better than just doing it in the meeting. Because sometimes we don't go into that much detail in the meeting when there are things like that. And so having that written one makes you sort of stop and think about the matters being discussed, and making sure that the connection is very transparent.
we can add that to the lawyer as well.
Yeah.
Because we just pulled this, I mean, this is pulled from the state.
Right.
Actually, for the most part.
Over the years, I've accused myself a couple of times when.
Accused yourself?
You're-
It's like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Sorry, wrinkle out there. When it, like, if we put something out for a bond in the bank,
Yes.
National Bank of Middlebury
Yeah.
bid on it, and maybe Chittenden or M&T now, or community, I would leave the room and say,
Yes.
I'm an employer, but I don't benefit from that, but, so would I have to excuse myself? Or should I?
I mean, if there's any kind of error impropriety, then I would recuse myself, but I don't see that there's,
No.
to me, I don't see that you're
I
benefiting
would,
from it.
yeah, it's obviously influence in the matter or benefiting from a particular matter. That's when you would recuse yourself. I think doing it just because you are an employee of this particular organization is a good thing to do, and I think that's something where it wouldn't necessarily need to be a letter. You could decide that in a meeting,
Right.
And hopefully the minutes
Step out.
would capture that, and they have looking back at past minutes.
Right.
So
But like we're going for a bond anticipation note, that doesn't directly benefit you, right? So I mean, I think it's
Will
just.
the bank get to know if my job the
Exactly.
next day?
They're also.
They're
I
not
believe-
giving you a bonus for
No.
getting the bond.
Yeah.
as far as we know,
Your employer is also our financial institution as well. So like,
yeah,
I vote when we're
I
gonna
think the
do
board can use
Bristol
common
bucks,
sense.
Christmas time.
yeah, right.
Okay, my next question, last paragraph in this section. The notwithstanding the foregoing of this, somebody needs to explain this paragraph to me, because I'm like, what does this mean?
Okay. Notwithstanding the foregoing, a municipal officer shall not continue to act in a matter involving a conflict of interest or the appearance of one if authority granted to another official or public body under law is exercised to preclude the officer
Yeah.
from acting in the...
Explain that to me? The authority granted to another official or public, I was like,
Yes.
what does that mean?
I mean, it's
Ask Jessica, she's good on this. Jessica,
I mean, I just read it that if somebody else has taken over that authority, that you can't step in and take it. So like if Greg is the one doing the fire department budget, with Brett, of course, that then Peaker or somebody else on the fire department couldn't step in and try to take over the process. I don't know if that's correct, but that's how I read it.
we'll flag that one for more clarity too.
yeah.
Okay.
This is why we do this.
No, I get it. The next section, first paragraph, says, if the conflict concerns an official act outside a public meeting, the non-recusal statement shall be filed with the town clerk and made available to the public for the duration of the officer's service, plus minimum 5 years. So it's like, give me an example of when this would happen. I was just trying to figure out when that might happen. I mean, because usually when we're together, we're in a meeting.
Correct. Yeah, an official act outside a public meeting.
I mean, I guess the only thing I could think of is like if we said, Ian, you have authority to do
Yes.
such and such.
Yeah, and
and
you're- and I'm
you
working
get there and
directly-
find out that it's
Yes.
a conflict for you.
Yes. Yeah, or if a member or two members were working with the town administrator on a particular thing and had a conflict of interest, that's when you would make that. And I guess you would figure that out beforehand, knowing that maybe don't engage that particular member on that particular item because they are connected in some way to it.
Okay. My next question is down to 11.07 disciplinary actions. And this is where we're talking about elected official admonishment, and this is where I
Yes.
said, this is where I think written notice must be approved by the board, and board must approve the written communications before sent.
Okay, is that in here? I can't remember if
I didn't see.
Okay,
I didn't see that there was any kind of written notice being approved,
Okay.
but that's kind of, the elected officers was the only place I could see that we were talking about admonishments, and
Okay.
it'd be on the record.
can you send me your notes that you made?
Mhm.
Okay, great, and I'll make sure that gets put in there. But I think that's the proper place for it, to make sure we have the proper channel, proper way of doing that. Part of it too is sort of, you know, and doesn't come up very often, is sort of a more of a privacy issue. If it's, so you're the chair perhaps is dealing with a particular member and it's more of a private issue that might go in their file, that's why it wouldn't be shared or approved by the board. You're relying on the chair.
It says by the appointed body. The
Right.
appointed body shall provide written notice.
Right, so you
So
read that as like approving a written notice.
Yeah, that's the way.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, it'd be one thing, you know, if Greg's dealing with an employee, but
Correct.
most times we're dealing with
B
the
is-
elected officials.
The elected officials. B is the elected,
Yeah.
A is the appointed. Now, appointed officer, does that go to the fire department members and then employees like highway, rec?
I
And
would
B is
say
us.
like Conservation Commission.
They're appointed,
Yeah.
like we just did tonight.
yes, or tree warden, something
Tree
like
warden,
that, yes.
Would that include us too,
Yeah,
as appointed?
I think you're appointed and considered employees.
And appointed and what kind of employee?
And
And considered employees.
And also,
Yeah, but we still have a form that we have to fill out, you guys have to sign off on it, and it has to be presented to somebody else. So I didn't.
That is, that's for state purposes though, isn't it? Because we have to provide the state with who's appointed.
Yeah,
As a
treasurer, and
treasurer.
also the county, I have to provide who my assistants are as well.
Right.
Yeah, because almost all of the employee stuff is covered in the personnel policy,
Correct.
but with conflict of interest, everyone is considered under that. And obviously, the elected officers are slightly different because of the matter.
Well, we would cut out a conflict of interest for personnel policy.
Say that again?
We would cut out and make it, align it to the personnel policy per se.
Right.
It wouldn't,
Doesn't the personnel policy already have some kind of conflict of interest?
that personnel policy is from Methuselah, so I don't know.
Personnel policy is so old.
It is in there, but like this, it needs to be updated.
Yeah.
But you're right, both of those, if we have this in here like this, then it needs to be obviously identical in the other one, or it's in the other one and it's not in this and it's saying C, personnel policy.
Yeah, you certainly don't want them in conflict.
No, exactly.
So the elected officers would just be the select board and the listers?
Selected, select board, listers, I guess,
would Justice of the
JP.
Peace?
The JPs,
be under there?
JPs are elected.
and eventually probably library.
JPs?
They're elected.
They are, but
I don't
the
know.
governor is the one who appoints anybody who, you know, dies or quits or whatever. So I don't know how that would fall.
Okay.
Because when we lose a position because somebody passed away or they got
Yeah.
done or something, it's the governor that has the authority to
So-
To
appoint
appoint.
somebody, not here.
Huh, okay.
Until the next election, correct?
Till the next, whatever, yeah, because they're
Okay.
for 2 years.
Oh,
All right, again, we could run that down, Kevin. Okay. Yeah, it would just be select board, listers, and once library is under the town, it would be library, because they're elected, right? We appoint when necessary, but
But,
those are
yeah.
elected positions.
The
so.
committee is elected.
Yeah. Anything else, Michelle?
No, that was it for that one.
Okay. All right, we've got some updates. Anyone else, any other board members have questions, concerns?
I just was reading the elected officer, back up a little bit.
Sure.
The elected officer, in the case where an elected officer is alleged violation. It says that, that's saying that it must be unanimous.
No,
Yes.
4 or 5, yeah.
Four, yeah.
Because the
because-
fifth one
Correct,
is
so
one.
it's-
So
So
we could, yeah, we can, it was noted in the memorandum, just like, do we want to do that? Do we want to have fewer members approve? Does it need to be 4 to approve? Or could it be 3, which is a quorum?
Yeah.
Any particular preference for that?
No, I think it should be unanimous. I don't think,
Okay.
I don't think that,
Yeah, it's pretty
But
cool.
there could always be just one person who's gonna throw the vote, you know?
It's,
Yeah.
you either operate by the policy or you
Right.
don't though. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if something's,
Yeah, it came up and it was originally 3 or by majority vote, but then I changed it to the option was the 4 of the 5. And so I thought that one was a clearer one, allowing us all a voice within that particular.
maybe a provision needs to be in there in case there's more than one.
That's true.
No offense, Scott.
no, absolutely.
No.
If 2 of us conspire to do something
Yeah.
and.
Well, I mean, this policy's good, you know.
What,
Hey, there's always an
Yeah, they-
exception to the rule.
I know, I know.
what it
Well, you
says
could ask
the la-
Kevin that question too.
in the
How
last
it
statement,
works.
it says removal of elected office is governed solely by the applicant Vermont law. What is the Vermont? I mean, you've heard about the sheriffs, they're trying to remove in
Right.
different counties over the last year or two. District attorneys,
I think you have to have a special town meeting. And it has to go to.
because they
a
can't even
vote.
get,
Yeah, there's a statute
Yeah.
that really,
It's
you know,
pretty.
because they don't
it's
want
pretty-
people ganging up.
It's so substantial what needs to happen, so I don't.
Yeah.
should we have that in, printed out,
I mean, we can link to it.
or linked
Or
to
you
it?
could, yeah, just make a reference to
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
statute.
Yeah. Anything else? Yeah, it's obviously a lot longer than our current one, but it's hopefully formatted in,
Why have 2 pages when 10 will suffice?
well, it's 14 years, it equals 10 more pages, I guess.
This is gonna be a part of our audit stuff now.
Yes.
FYI.
Which is why we're starting with these.
This and procurement.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Excellent, thank you.
it's either we bring it up or they make it.
Yeah.
I think it's really good that we have it written down. I mean, I think a lot of these practices we were sort of informally following anyway, just as like common sense, but it's always good to have it written down.
If you didn't write it down, you didn't do it.
I know.
Well, and it gives us a procedure to actually follow,
Yeah.
which, you know, if there's a question, yeah, we do it, but if there's a question by somebody who is being disciplined, then we can go to this and say, either you're right, or you're right, we didn't follow the rules, or
Right.
we did follow the rules and our decision stands.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on. 7:43 now. 5C was our policies and ordinances updates, the procurement policy. So I'll share the memorandum that Greg sent out.
The big changes on the procurement is really just bringing us online with all the required procurement policies for all our various federal funders as well as state funders, so that we're gonna have single audits from here for the next 6 years.
Anyway,
Yeah, and so really just trying to close all the gaps with that, so we just went through the fiscal 25 audit and got the draft back on that, and we're good. But
a micro purchase is 10,000.
yeah,
You,
Yeah, it used to be $200,
Yeah.
whatever our previous one was, yeah. But again, I mean, I think these are,
well, think about in terms of like emergencies and stuff
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
No,
What if
no,
you guys
I-
are scattered to the 9 winds and I'm the only one?
Right.
yeah.
You know?
No,
I mean,
I,
that was one of my questions, what's considered a micro purchase?
Yeah. Well,
Because I have no idea, I was like,
there's a specific language in the federal.
as to what a micro purchase is, okay,
And-
because I'm like, I don't know
And
what
we
that
are
is.
in alignment to the letter of the law with all that, so.
and that's basically what this is housekeeping to make sure that we have written down what they want.
Yes.
So does this, I mean,
It's probably not.
I can answer my question because we're looking at this, but does this, I was trying to figure out, so does this give you, Greg, as a TA, authority to make decisions of purchasing from a micro purchase 15K up to 350K?
I mean, it wouldn't change anything on the ground that's already happening. But I mean, I'm not, you would see it on the warrant, nothing like that's happening, right? And I'm,
It would be ill-advised of him to go and spend $350,000
Well, I just-
without
I mean,
telling
that's
us ahead
kind
of
of what
time.
it says, so that's why I'm
I-
asking.
yeah, but that's the cap for that. And, I mean, I have no idea what that would, that's not probably for us here in Bristol, Vermont, right? But.
Well, come on, look at some of the stuff we're spending
Well,
money
these
on.
are, right, but this is federal rules, right? So if you're in a big city, that could go real quick, depending
Yeah.
on what you need. and what-
Depending on what they find under the carpet.
So these are our 5 questions that you sort of put to us in terms of those levels. These are what you're recommending at each of these levels: the 15, 25, the 48-hour window, monthly reporting floor, and then the credit card policy, which we've already approved.
Yep.
Does the board have any concern about those amounts? I mean, if the board, for whatever reason, wants to have smaller amounts, does that affect in terms of how this is used in the audit? Does it ding us by doing that because we're out of compliance by changing these numbers?
I mean, I would move it all the way up to max allowable, so we're not, because these are our policies that we adopt, and so limiting us here operationally on that just adds an additional layer of bureaucracy, but of potential finding.
Right.
Also, once this goes into effect, like regardless if it makes sense or not, I have to
Right.
abide by it. So it just makes sense to move it up to the exact threshold so that,
That's required.
yeah, I mean, we want to have clean audits. And regardless if what the federal rules, if we have a different internal policy, our auditors will ding us.
Was it 5,000 for department heads, up to 5,000 for department heads don't need?
Well, no, it was a lot far less than that. Previously?
Yeah, I guess now, before because we haven't voted this in yet.
There's language in here about,
Yeah, I
about
mean-
what, like, as long as it's within their budget, then I can't.
If it's in their
remember the
budget,
numbers.
they can spend it if it's something.
Yeah, because Eric gets 3 or 4 loads of salt. He
Right.
spent more than 5.
But he doesn't do that without me knowing either.
Okay.
So, like, that's the thing, it's like,
Or sand,
Eric's
puts up the winter sand in
Yeah.
there, yeah.
yeah, but I mean, like, Eric's covered and
But
that.
it's under the
because-
budget.
Yeah, and then also Sharon would get that as well.
Right. So here are the purchase categories and thresholds. So incidental purchases up to 2,000. And then minor purchases are considered 2,001 to 15,000.
Well, you jumped through this one.
Do you have questions going back? Just because we were
I
talking
have a
about the
quick
thresholds.
go back to the definition of purchase order.
Purchasing agent or purchase?
Purchase order.
Where's that?
It's up in the descriptions or the
Okay.
definitions. So I would say, are we talking about the warrant or an actual purchase order? Because, I mean, I don't know that we always get this from the treasurer. I don't know what the internal workings happen, how that here, you know, when we get something like when Eric goes and he's looking for a truck. You know,
Yes.
he comes in with the invoices. I mean, we don't usually see a purchase order. We just see their invoices and we,
Sharon does.
so.
Yeah, but it depends on what you're talking about. We do purchase orders for certain things, like for credit card purchases, if they're over a certain amount.
Yep.
Or they're over a certain amount, like when Brett orders stuff, I do the purchase order, sign the number, you sign it.
Yep.
But as far as trucks and stuff like that, we've never done purchase orders for any of the vehicles. Because you've got all the other
Because they all
documentation
come
that has
before
be
us to
approved.
approve anyway.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Right, so we've approved it before
Right.
we would then get a
Get-
purchase
get-
order
right.
or get an invoice for it.
I was just reading it going, well, I've never seen a purchase order, but I
Yes.
didn't, it's like, that doesn't mean it doesn't happen, so that's why I was asking, okay.
And that's what the auditors ask for when we do buy new equipment. They ask for the document we got, the invoice we got from where we bought it from, and so they can see what we're paying for
Yeah.
and whatnot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Michelle?
505, 5.05. Okay, so it says, only that town administrator is authorized to sign contracts on behalf of the town unless the select board has authorized a specific individual for formal vote. Would you want to put in there the town administrator or appointed select board member?
What were we done before we got it?
I mean, usually we had somebody that we,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so I'm just
I mean,
trying to cover
it
bases
would have been
because,
the interim town administrator,
right.
perhaps.
Mhm.
So maybe we need a
Or
little bit.
board designee?
Okay.
I mean, it does say select board has authorized a specific individual by formal vote, but I'm just thinking do we need to have a formal vote if we at least have that in there? Say the select board chair or the
Okay.
interim town administrator. Just so you're not calling a special
Yeah, of course.
meeting so that.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Make a note about that.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that we'll have the chair sign
Right.
instead of the administrator.
Yeah, that's true.
606.
Well, so the reverse of that is, I guess,
Can it say in the absence of the town administrator, a designee appointed by the board is authorized to sign?
right.
Yeah, but we would have to have a meeting and appoint that person.
Right.
Meeting
we
or
would
email
wanna-
or text
yeah,
and saying we all
usually it's
agree.
the
You
chair.
can't do it by
like,
email.
like
We can't do it by
so-
email, that's right.
But some of the ones, like Sharon sends me forms that need to be signed by the select board chair, but does that mean that they can't be signed by the town administrator if it's specifically asking for a select board chair signature?
My
A lot of
guess-
those are a
my
holdover just
guess
from
is-
very old, forms that are just, it's been done like that for decades.
My guess is that the answer is yes.
Okay,
Probably.
Unless we do some kind of, resolution or whatever saying
oh, that's true.
that.
There would be,
Anything signed by the select board chair can also be signed,
Signed by.
yeah, but
there'd be very few things where that
Right.
would be even
Mhm.
relevant to me, you know?
Okay.
Greg may not want to sign them.
that's true. That's true, making you sign them.
I'm
Okay.
perfectly fine with you appointing me to sign on it, right? Like
On our
I did with the
behalf.
Vermont Bond Bank, the DWSRF, I'm
Right.
fine with that, but
That's true.
there's very few things that come through here, like, where that would be, but we
Yeah.
can carve out something.
Yeah, but I think you're right. We can put in a default of the town administrator or select board chair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll put some language in there for that, because I think that we don't have to have a meeting, it's very
Right.
clear. Yeah, okay.
I mean, the majority of this stuff, we already know it's coming down the pipe. We already know it's just,
Yeah.
a document has to be signed
We don't always know until
the day.
it's the day
Yes.
it needs to be signed, who has to
Right.
sign it,
Yeah.
or who they're asking to sign it.
And oftentimes, because of the way that Vermont is designed with select board in so many towns, the select board chair or the select board becomes the default versus an administrator or even a manager.
Right.
I mean, there's more and more towns getting town administrators,
Yes.
but there's still a lot that still operate by the
Yeah.
board.
Okay, so then we have our thresholds.
606, I have a question on. It says construction projects, all construction projects of any value shall follow the sealed bid process. But the one before that says large purchases over 50 require approval and a sealed bid process. So why is 606, large purchase construction projects? So any construction project, even if it's less than 50,000, we do a sealed bid for? I mean, I didn't think we did that.
We don't.
We don't right now.
We did.
We have the ability to
Request it.
single source
Yeah.
Yeah,
if we,
well, like when we chose for the town plan, we did that as a,
Yeah, it wasn't a sealed bid, right?
No.
technically not, no.
Yeah. I mean, most of our construction projects tend to be sealed bids. Or larger projects, but not.
not.
So I'm just worried
Because a
about,
lot of times Eric will go and get prices for something and we'll just approve
like
it.
paving, I mean, not that we don't have options for too many paving.
So what
but
would so that's for 6.
I'm just,
5.
my question would be, do you want to limit, say, like, anything over $50,000 is required for construction project, be it a sealed bid, or whatever number you decide should be there? I mean, because right now, anything, if it's $5,000, it's a construction project, it's gotta be a sealed
Oh,
bid.
I see.
Yeah, we don't wanna limit our.
Yeah, you
So
don't wanna
that's
create
a
more work.
undue-
So we would probably put this into 6.06.
That's what I would say.
Okay.
I mean, if 50,000 is the number you think
Yeah.
should be.
Okay. And you think 50,000?
Yeah. I
Okay.
don't see why not. I mean,
It could be as simple as any projects that are bid or sealed bids. I mean, I think putting a dollar amount's probably a safer.
Okay. And since we've got it in 605, in terms of large purchases, kind of doing the same thing for construction projects.
And I think it's just creating more work if you don't put a number in there.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah, that way if it's something, if it's $30,000, you can.
yeah. Right, like that was the bids that I tried to get for the library steps. You know, I put that out there asking for it, we only got one, but it was 30,000. And so I think, yes, small stuff, but again, stuff's getting more and more expensive to do anything.
Right, I mean, in 3 years, we may be up in those numbers.
Right,
Yeah.
to do anything.
It's just wee stuff.
3 years, I might not be here either.
That's what I'm saying, that's just wee stuff.
And I'll be looking
Okay,
for
so I'll make a
votes
note
to get
about
out.
that, you can put that in. What's your next one, Michelle?
So 703 and 704, can we just say, like, see reporting section 18? Because when I first saw that, I read this, I said, well, and hopefully put in here, and the town administrator will provide a report to the select board, but then I found it later on. And I don't know if it's important, it just took me, it's like, you know, reading it, that's what I was saying, okay.
So, sorry, say that again? 703 and 704.
That we could say see reporting section, or whatever section is 18.
Oh, I see.
whatever it
Okay.
is. See reporting section, so that when you read that, you know that he's gonna be reporting, he or she's gonna be reporting to the select board.
Okay.
Of what was done. I think it's section 18.
Okay,
Yeah, it's 18.
so it's making sure that the town administrator's done these things, and at least it comes back.
The select board knows.
Okay. Yep,
My next question is on 906.
okay, bid open.
It's talking about opening the bids and the bid award. I was like, who opens the bids and who evaluates the bids and makes recommendations to the select board? Because currently, we're not involved usually in that process. We usually just get the recommendations once that has been through, so.
Correct. I think it's,
Should probably define what type of bid it is.
Yeah, I guess.
Sealed bid.
No, I mean like,
The water bids,
Right.
Steve opened.
right,
right,
Right, and so that, I mean, I was like,
Or like
we've never opened a bid. I
or for
mean,
like Lawrence Memorial, the project manager that facilitates all it, he does that as well.
Well, I mean, that's why I was like, I don't know who this means.
So,
Who this-
well, it just says at a time and place specified by.
yeah, the RFP or RFP.
So we leave it, yeah, the language leaves it open to us.
It doesn't have to be us.
Yeah.
If the RFP says that it
Correct.
goes to the engineer,
Yes, which is what the water lines.
yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
right.
and the same with the other, with the Lawrence Memorial Library.
I mean,
Yes.
if they come to the administrator, then,
Yes. The biggest thing in this is obviously that it's open publicly
Yeah.
at a time and place.
typically it says in the RFP where they're gonna be, where and when.
Where it's gonna go.
Okay,
They're due by a certain date, and
Should that say that then, the first line, the select board shall award the contract to be made in public?
Well, it's normally a
Public
provision already written in by
Yeah,
the
it's
funder.
already in there.
It's not even a choice by us.
Right, no,
yeah,
can't decide anything in the town session anyways.
okay,
My next question is 10.02.
Like when we did DWSRF, the state watched it on cam.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah?
Yeah.
My question here is this, this is, like 1003 says, any professional services exceeding 25 require select board approval. So on 1002, anything under 25K, the TA can do, and if that's true, should that not be put in this 10.02? Because right now, there's no limitation on 10.02, you have to read 10.03 to know that anything over 25K.
Yeah, we should
select
probably
board.
merge those. This thing is a bear, by the way.
That's why you let us read it.
yeah. Yep, those could go together, I think.
And then my next question is on 1102. My question is, when I read this, I said, does this mean that it cannot exceed the original contract amount in total, or each contract can be up to the approved original contract amount?
Give you an example, Michelle.
Well, if we have a recurring purchase contract, that's 25,000, we approve it. And then there's individual orders under the contract throughout the fiscal year. Does that mean for a total of 25,000, or each contract you could approve up to for 25,000? So like, say there's 3 contracts through the years, is it 25,000 total, or could it be 75,000?
You could use our road salt as a,
Yeah, good example.
I would say that it's approved in it.
Well, we would approve both, right?
Well, the salt-
We would approve a final amount, and then that final amount, it could be divided into multiple contracts of smaller designations.
But I guess that's what I'm asking, you know, when it's saying, talking about recurring
Actually,
contract,
there's
is
a
it?
provision saying specifically we can't do that because you would be breaking it out under.
Right, to make it under
Under
the
the
threshold.
Oh, okay.
So you can't do
Right.
that.
You can't
There's
do
actually
that.
like a guardrail against that.
Okay.
So that would put us in conflict. See what I'm saying? It's a
Yeah, no,
nightmare,
yeah.
dude. You damned if you do.
Yeah, we cut them all down to 25,000, so you're staying under it. Award
Okay.
4 contracts instead of one $100,000
So
contract.
that was just, it wasn't very clear to me what that.
Yeah.
I think one note also in here, because we're seeing this a lot, like normal professional services are changing, sometimes even faster. So
Yeah, I mean,
We can
you say
compare.
3 years we're reviewing it, we might have to review it every year with the way they change
some of
stuff.
these people might have to review it less, especially like, I mean, even with our auditors and stuff like that. Like everyone's just raising their prices constantly
Right.
on us.
So you wanna flag that just for
Yeah, I
a
mean,
little,
just
little bit more clarity?
clarification,
Okay,
Yeah.
you know, let's just make sure we have it
Okay.
clarified correctly, so we're not gonna be screwing ourselves.
Yeah, the procurement policy isn't something we want to mess around with.
yeah.
So let's get as much answers as.
Next question I have is on 1205. So I read this and I said, so how would we reject if the TA already gave approval and likely the project has been done if it is emergent? So we're approving after the fact?
Well, in emergency, there's a provision cut out that I have 48 hours to respond or before reporting. Right. So yeah, you would be reporting after the fact because it's based on the emergency.
Right, I get that, but it says the select board shall formally ratify or reject. I'm like, well, how can we reject if it may be, it's already
I
done?
guess you take it out of my pay. I
I'm just like, well,
Right.
this kind of is dumb.
Right.
I mean, it's one thing if maybe it's not completed yet.
don't know. Or delivered, or
Right.
Right.
But if it's an emergent, usually those
emergencies
things are
loosely
done.
defined thing as well.
Right.
I could be like, hey, this is a thing.
It's an
I think
emergency.
it's,
It's an emergency. My lunch was late today.
Jessica.
I think it's just an accountability mechanism so that like, even if the payment has already gone through, it doesn't mean that the person wouldn't be held accountable. So I think it's just there to make sure that everybody knows that, you know, just because the money's spent doesn't mean you won't be held accountable for it if you know, did something wrong.
Okay.
But we can't reject it technically.
Well, you could. I
We
mean,
would just,
It
we
depends
may,
on each situation would be different.
Right.
keep your receipt.
Right. Right. Yeah.
You gotta return that road. I don't know how you're
You
gonna
wanna
do it.
pick
Greg.
up all that pavement, will ya?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, that's it for
All
me.
that stone you
Okay.
dumped over because the river washed Main Street away, you gotta return it back to the pit.
Better than me paying for it.
Okay, excellent. Well, thank you very much, Michelle, and everyone
Yeah.
else. So yeah, it's, as Greg said, it's a large bear of a document, but we'll make these changes, update, we'll pass it along to our attorney, and then we'll bring it before the board in
This
2
is
weeks'
just the
time.
start.
I know. A lot of the policies will be easier than these. These are the meatier ones. I will say that personnel will be, yeah. And I do hope to get, now that we've started this, to get you these documents at least 5 days ahead of the meeting. I know it's difficult, they're long documents, so that's the goal.
Yeah, it took me several hours
I
this
know,
weekend.
I appreciate your time on that. Okay, excellent, let me stop this share. All right, thank you, everyone. We're only 5 minutes behind, fantastic. 5D, Select Board Roundtable. Joel, what do you have for us tonight?
I was looking over the pay orders, it's, just one from Safe, that's the grade union, right, that's Safe for the first one.
Safeway,
Albertsons, yeah.
Robertson.
Now, there's one for said BEE, is that Bristol Elementary?
Elder Eagles.
Elder Eagles. What's the ELP one?
That's the hub, that's the extended,
Oh, okay, it's not the ELP
Program.
program run up out of the schools.
no, they
Okay.
give them some money for that, so he marks which ones
Oh,
go
okay, that's all I wanted.
towards that grant, or they reimburse them somehow.
Okay, that's all I had a question. That's all I had.
Okay, excellent. Michelle?
don't understand my initials.
No, I saw them, I saw ELP.
BDBD.
And I just think,
Jill, you may jump in on this. We don't have a sewer ordinance, is that correct?
Working on it.
I was gonna say, because,
We have an
you know,
old
we keep talking about handling with the BOD.
We have one that's just
What's that?
outdated.
Yeah, it's very outdated.
What's that, Jessica?
No, that was Joe.
That was Jill.
Oh,
We do have an outdated, limited scope sewer ordinance, and I would love for it to have more teeth when it comes to more than just flow or something of that sort. And I think it would be nice to get some help from, I'm forgetting the name of the group that kind of showed us the different funding sources, but it'd be nice to be able to get something in there for high strength waste and not just flow.
Yeah.
which we're doing.
Because I was
Put some
also
teeth in
talking-
it, we'll have something to chew on.
yeah,
I also was talking to Kevin about it. He's got some
yep.
options and forms if you
Yeah.
want them.
Chew on that.
Yeah, you'll be seeing that and then the public nuisance ordinance as well,
Okay.
coming shortly.
Yep.
Anything else, Michelle?
Congratulations to all the graduates this year.
Yeah.
And I think that's it.
Beaker?
I'm good.
Jessica?
Nope, nothing.
Walking around town, bugging you?
Not about Bristol Selectboard issues.
And I don't have anything either. 5E, Town Administrator's Report. Greg?
Got a bunch of stuff, just quickly report out. All right, well, I mentioned we got the draft fiscal 25 audit back. No major findings, just some admin things for us to clean up in-house. It's kind of the problem you have when you go back to back fiscal year 24 audits and then fiscal 24. I've been in an audit every month I've been here.
So you're really good at it.
26 is coming up soon as well. So, but the thing is, it just.
Here first, before we jump in.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sharon. It just doesn't give us a lot of time to react in between audits to fix things appropriately and stuff like that. So no major findings, and there's always going to be things that we need to polish up. So
We gotta be getting better though.
yeah, killing it. The town financially is in a strong and stable position. Bristol West Water System and Holly Hall are moving forward on schedule. Both are backed by outside grant and loan funding, which you're aware of. Library abatement project is advancing through competitive bidding. I should have that back on Wednesday. I'll bring and notify the board the complete picture of its scope and costs at the appropriate time. As I mentioned, our finances are sound with a clean audit and healthy fund balance. And as you know, we are modernizing how the town operates from procurement to emergency planning, which the LIMP should be probably end of the month.
Can I ask you something?
Go ahead.
The abatement, I know that's very time sensitive.
Yes.
Is that something where we might need to do a special meeting for approval? Or-
I'll talk to Kyle.
Okay.
And we'll see what.
Okay, because I know we have, we want to get someone.
That day is kind of, we want to be able to notify them because some of those contractors are out of state.
Right. Okay, so keep me posted, and
Will
then
do.
if we need to do
You'll be
a special
meeting.
meeting just to approve this, because we really wanna pick someone and lock them down. Thank you, sir.
And
Yep.
keep the project moving.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we can't, time is crucial because all the funding tied to it is, project has to be completed by end of year, so. There's a great deal of work in motion and things are moving in the right direction, so my thanks to all our staff, Sharon, Chris, volunteers, and the board for keeping us on track. We got the $30,000 grant for operational costs approved today, so that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of just moving through things segment by segment, and everyone's really chipping in and helping out.
How's the feedback on the water line project? They're moving quickly and we're
Yeah,
doing good updates?
I'm sorry, I should have given a better update about
I
that.
like the, those things on front forum you put.
Yeah.
I think those are real helpful.
It took me, I'm still a work in progress, but getting those out. We had one little snafu where we moved from Elm to Taylor kind of quickly, and just like the feedback loop didn't get back to me super. I mean, they moved quick, so I wasn't able to get messaging out to Taylor as fast as I wanted to in that regard, but we since fixed that. So, I mean, Munson completed Elm Street to Taylor Ave, and they're on Maple. They started it from Pine, and they're working southward now.
And they're just putting in the lines, the mains.
Well, we had about $500,000 material show up today, so I'll know
Start going
exactly.
corpse now.
Yeah. So I'll meet with Steve tomorrow, and then we have our construction meeting Thursday, so I can brief you guys more about what that looks like. We're going to continue street by street communication plans, as well as the service line consumer notice part. Let's see.
And that communication, so we're doing front porch forum,
Town website.
town website, Facebook. So we do a post on the town website. There's also a page on the town website. It has a memo of the PDF, or PDF of the memo. So trying to put as much information as possible, the same information, in 3 sets places where we feel that the majority of people look. Either front porch forum or Facebook is generally pretty good. Instagram is just, we have that, and we have X, Twitter, but it doesn't seem like they aren't.
Peter and I are all tied into all.
That's right. I'm sorry that you're not getting
with us, Sharon.
not getting a notification. But front porch is, I mean, a fantastic. And the nice thing is that if we do have things that it is short notice, they have an urgent announcement now, which they actually bump it like early in the morning, which is really nice feature, and it could be useful for us.
Gets it out there quickly.
Yes, which is nice.
I sent the final docs in today for our bond anticipation note to free up some cash flow for the projects. That way we're not dipping into reserves. I know that there's interest associated with that, but given some of our historical issues and borrowing against ourselves or anything, I'm perfectly fine paying some short-term interest to sort
Not
of
touch that.
Yep. Let's see. They've been moving pretty well through the skate park renovations and getting that up. Many thanks to all the volunteers out there and staff for, that project would not have happened.
Yeah, Dylan's doing a great job.
Great job.
I'm on the email list. He's doing great messaging and really good engagement of everyone who's worked there.
I've seen a lot of volunteers out there, which
Yeah.
is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. Mountain Street stormwater study is complete, so you'll get briefed on that in the coming weeks, as well as Conservation Committee. I'll be reaching out to them. There's park studies of various that I'd like to get them incorporated. Also, we were reached out by, I always mess this up, LWCF, and we're going to do an inspection on Memorial, which will make us eligible for certain funding. So, and then we'll tie in the parks with the Du Bois and King community engagement and get a good pulse on what the public would like to see with some of these parks that are being underutilized. Memorial is a beautiful park. It's just needs a little bit of love. little
A
TLC.
And a bridge.
A bridge, some stairs.
We're gonna make it happen.
I think
We
got a bridge if we could get it there. I can't get to the bridge.
the police, are we still moving forward with that?
Bruce has been doing community engagement, and as soon as I can get a free moment out of his construction projects, I'll be joining him on that and developing that for it. He's been having Bruce report a lot of good feedback. More than anything, it's really just been a lot about education and informing the public about what services we offer. And then inversely, I think that there's going to need to be some engagement done with folks out of the district.
Are we gonna
That'll be
have,
your-
are we gonna
that's your big
have
stuff.
something like a
Meeting.
meeting where we have them come in and,
I think so. We
Open
can talk
questions
about that
and-
more in depth, but yeah, I think
I mean, we're at 6 months now,
Oh, yeah.
and it's gonna go by,
Quick.
Yeah.
we've done several engagements and we put
Right.
some things together. So I mean, we are operating in good faith in doing it. There's probably more that I could be doing than that, but
Other things.
How many hours in a day?
yeah.
no, I was just curious,
Yeah.
I know we said we were gonna stick with it and,
We're on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I think the big thing is the engagement with out of district, especially too, like we've kind of seen, or at least now that I've been here almost a year, I've begun to see the needs outside of the district are very much different than the needs inside the district. But that does not mean that there are no needs outside the district. And so I think understanding how we can support all residents, customized to like their needs. Is
Those who
really
are
the
outside the
approach
district who have never needed the services.
Oh,
will
until
be the
recently,
one-
right?
Right, will
Until-
be the ones who are gonna be hardest to
Sure.
get.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, like when we were dumping trash on these other things, it looks a little bit different, you know?
Yeah, but they don't see that as a police issue.
It very much
I know it
is.
is. They don't see it that way. Yeah.
It's consumed Bruce and staff's time
Right.
considerably, so.
Yep.
That's all I got to report. That's quite a bit. But
I have one thing for Michelle.
Hmm.
The tax sales will be July 14th.
oh yeah,
For the one down here?
There's
Or how many? You got 3?
3 right now.
Mhm.
The other 2, the estates, I've gotta find out. I think Jim Carroll was out for a short period of time, so I've gotta find out if they really need to file
They
the
open it,
probates
open the
because
estate.
nobody's opened them, so.
Yeah. We're gonna have to
And
pay,
one
we're
is
gonna have to
almost
pay
20.
money to get money.
Yeah, I mean, one is around 18,000, the other one's over 10, it's 10 or 12 or something.
I mean, I know there's one up my way that is probably 10 or $12,000. I'll tell you afterwards.
Sharon's made some really good progress over the last couple months, so kudos to you, Sharon.
Getting people to make payment plans and actually pay where they can keep
Yes,
up.
and some of the banks are stepping up now too,
Mhm.
because we had a few that were behind 2 or 3 years, and the banks are calling, what do they owe, what do they owe, and they don't want us to take them, so.
Yeah.
Just my personal opinion, why would you ever have the bank do that for you?
Well,
It's
it's all
like,
about-
I can do what they're doing.
because people can't manage their
Right,
money.
that's absolutely right.
So what the banks are doing in those situations, they're just making it go to escrow, not
Yeah.
giving you the chilling.
Right, they do escrow, but
Yeah,
they
they're
don't
raising
manage
your-
the escrow
raising
well,
your-
and then they keep raising their payment, and
Raise
then the
your
people can't make
mortgage.
the payment.
Raise your mortgage to include your taxes,
Then your taxes and your insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but they're protecting themselves,
Well,
which
absolutely.
helps us, so.
Mhm.
It's not a bad
Oh,
thing.
I get it, but just personally.
Well, you can manage your money, that's,
Anything else, Greg?
No, that's it.
Okay. Moving on. Item 6, other business. 6A, correspondence reports or correspondence received. Anything?
A lot of waterline discussions,
Okay.
nothing I haven't, that remains out there.
Okay. Item 7, executive session, not anticipated. And number 8, make a motion to adjourn. Anything?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Turn.
Sorry.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against? No, nothing. Great.
When are you back,
Just get
Jessica?
those papers signed?
When are you back?
I fly back July 16th.
Don't tell me, is she
Nice. Still got
floating
some
off?
time over there. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us this morning for you.
What time is it?
Yeah, and you were right. The technology problem resolved itself pretty quickly, so I'll know that for next time.
A couple of times when you were talking
Yeah.
at the beginning, then you didn't, you haven't
We played
since.
phone tag for a couple of
Good.
So probably
Have a
next
good
time
evening.
beginning so that it takes care of it.
Yeah, that's true. And have a good morning.
Take care.
I'm trying my damnedest.